Okay, well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're at. Obviously, with the time changes that just happened over the past few weeks, specifically here in the United States, that happened actually this
and
past
and part of
Sunday.
Europe.
Yep,
So some of Europe also has a time change.
yep.
So I hope everybody is getting the right time zone.
And be sure to text people if they're in a different time zone. Let them know that we're getting started right now. This normally in the United States would be 1 o'clock, but we always honor the time in South Africa. They haven't changed, and so it's always the 7 o'clock time zone for them. So the rest of the world changes, they don't. So this meeting's always been set up for an international team meeting. So we're Greg and Meta Warmbier, actually out of Sarasota, Florida. We're here going to be talking today about this amazing, phenomenal technology. It's called the X39 through a company called LifeWave, and it's changed our lives dramatically. I actually had a car accident back in 2016 that damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. Later on, I had a knee injury that affected my right hip. So I had 5 areas of issues, and my friend told me about this patch. He said, hey, you got to try this. I said, I'll try anything. I didn't really believe it or understand it. I was like, I'll just try anything. 3 days later, no issues with my knee, my hip, my shoulder, my neck, my back. I'm like, what in the world is this? How does this work? And actually started doing research and went, whoa, this is real. This is like life-changing real. This is going to be something that's going to change people's lives around the world. And so my wife is actually an attorney. And so again, we're going to share a little bit more about that. So she researched it, I researched it, and now we got business all over the world and we can't stop sharing it. So I'll ever kind of give a couple quick introductions and then we're
Yeah.
going to play a quick video.
So we are not medically trained at all. So we're not here to diagnose, to treat, or to tell you that what we're going to share is going to cure anything for you. But we are sharing this because it is honestly changing a lot of people's lives, and we feel it is our social responsibility to share with everyone. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is you may be on here, but you may have invited 1 or 2 people to come and check this out with you, and you don't see them. Make sure that you quickly message them whilst we play the video. Make sure they jump on. You don't want them to miss out. And then also, if you have anybody new on here, you want to put their name in the chat and let us know that you invited them. So they will get back with you when we are done.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick this off real quick with a quick video because it explains more in literally 3 minutes than I can explain in 30 minutes, even though I talk very fast. So the big thing is, have you been patched yet? What this does is elevate, activate, and regenerate, and you're going to hear more about that. So here we go. Watch this video. Here you go.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisit.info.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself and, even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology, this is the team, and this is your moment. This is it.
Fantastic. So again, that's a brief video, explains a little bit more about our team, a little bit more about us. You might have heard on there once we talked about, David Schmidt, obviously is the CEO and inventor of X39. There's people out there that are like this, that are just unbelievable, amazing people. Just like you think about all the people that have created technology in our lives, a lot of the things that we have today, because people actually have dedicated a life in one area. Well, he basically has over 200 patents, scientist and inventor, specializes in age reversing. Thank God for people like this, right? In 2008, focused attention on stem cell research, and this one product took 10 years, $4.5 million worth of research and development to come out with. And so when you understand he's constantly inventing things, and there's new stuff coming out soon, a whole lot of things are going on. But the thing is, when I started sharing with my wife, she was like, yeah, I don't think so. So she goes, send me the information and get checked out by your doctor. So when she saw the patent, things changed a little bit.
Yeah, so pretty skeptical. As an attorney, I don't really believe everything that people tell me. Well, I think it's normal not to believe everything they tell you. But, Greg's results were undeniable, and that's when I decided I'm going to look at the website. This is at info.com. We're going to share that with you a little later. And I saw that it is a patented technology, and I understand what it takes. I have a lot of colleagues that are actually, they practice in this field. So I know it takes a lot of work, a lot of research. You don't just get a registered patent in a day. I mean, so we saw that it took him 10 years and $4.5 million. That's a lot of time, a lot of money to bring this product to market, to get the patent registered and to bring it to market. And then I said, oh my gosh, it's a legal document. I understand that. And I'm going to take a look at what it says. So I started to read it, and I saw it said like this particular paragraph, and it says a lot more than this. It says embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants. And I actually saw that it talks about inflammation reduction, which for me was one of the things I was looking. I also saw that it spoke about collagen increase, and those two things are what caught my attention. And I have fear of missing out, so I said, well, he's got some great results. I don't want to miss out. If it's going to help elevate and increase my own collagen production, I'm all in.
Yeah, and so I was skeptical myself too, but I already did the research, spent hours and hours looking at this stuff, and she didn't know this. She was kind of like, yeah, whatever. But as soon as she started doing research, obviously things changed. So once again, the part that we always look at is that the stem cells make up every organ in your body. So again, they always think about that. Most people don't even realize that as you age, your stem cells become more dormant, and by the time that you're 30 years old, you have half the stem cell activity that you had when you were younger. And by the time you're 60, you've got less than 10% of the stem cells actually active for you. But when you start activating the stem cells in your body starts recovering like you're 8 years old. And that one thing I always explain to people is that imagine you riding a bicycle at 8 years old and you fall off your bike. What do? You basically get back on, you dust yourself off, maybe bleeding a little bit, whatever, and you keep moving, right? I at the age of 55, I'm riding my bike, I fall off the bike, what do you think I'm doing? I'm grabbing my cell phone that's hopefully not broken and calling my wife, come pick me up, I think I'm broken. So once again, but I was 52 years old when I started using this patch. I was actually turning 52, and it was interesting that I looked at that where I was at. And when you understand where I was at, I felt like in my 60s or 70s because of all the issues that I had going on. Now I feel like in my 30s going into my 20s. And that's a fact. I mean, I tell people all the time, you can challenge us all you want. In fact, my dad's calling me right now. He's 89. He's younger at 89 than he was at 86. It's pretty amazing. So we tell people, you got to check this out.
So opportunity happens when we create solutions. And, David understood that. And he realized at the time that he was doing all this research that no one knew that, well, nobody had told him, and he assumed nobody's told everybody else. No one knew that our stem cells actually become dormant. And what do we have to offer? We have, this is stem cell reactivation in this wearable technology. And the other thing is, he saw that there were many people struggling, and so he created an income generating business for us through this opportunity.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So how this works is pretty simple. It's a primary form of phototherapy. We all experience this every day. So we live in the Sunshine State here in Florida. A lot of you live in different areas, but if we go out in the sun, it's super sunny out. If I go out in the sun right now, the sun actually hits our skin, which is our biggest organ, and elevates things in our body, like vitamin D, right? We all know we get vitamin D from the sun. Well, the sun's not pushing out vitamin D, it's pushing out a frequency of light that interacts with our skin and elevates and activates things in our body. Well, when we put this patch on, it's just a peel and stick. Basically, put the patch on, you can put it anywhere in your body. There's a couple places that they recommend, but put it anywhere in the body. I'm doing this for demonstration purposes because it's kind of hard to show the back of my neck, right? And so again, you put it anywhere in your body, it starts reflecting our own body's heat and light with the nanocrystal technology that's patented. There's no drugs, no chemicals, no stipping, so it reflects our own light to activate. It's non-transdermal and non-evasive. That is brilliant. So again, it's a simple thing. You can peel and stick, right? I can take it off, I can put it back on, right? And now it's working, right? So, and that's a huge thing that you can understand how it works. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. So the benefits of X39, there are a lot that are here on the slide, but you know what? There's so much more than that, and we've pretty much experienced absolutely every single one of these benefits. Increased strength, reduced inflammation. I already let you know that that's something that was really important for me, and I've experienced that. Increased stamina. I heard from one of our team members that they know someone, a young lady who's definitely experiencing increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity. It's a big one for a lot of people. Restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improved sleep, really, really big for me. That was one of the major things. I had no idea it was going to happen because I wasn't even looking for it. And then the one night when I just slept right through the night, I was like, what on earth happened there? And woke up like really refreshed and rejuvenated. And you know when you jump out of bed and you just go. Well, I mean, I wasn't doing that normally, but honestly, it's been the way that it is for the last few years since we've been using this product. And doesn't matter where I'm at. If I'm on a plane, in a hotel, sleeping in another bed somewhere else, it's the same kind of sleep I'm having, like really, really improved.
You used to suffer from that a lot on the plane and on
it was
travel
terrible. I mean, twisting and turning, not being able to fall asleep. It was horrible. And improved skin appearance. We've seen that from a lot of people. David talks about achieving optimal health. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. And I do have to give the disclosure. We're not saying that LifeWave products are diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing any disease or medical condition. So the long-term results, that was like short-term results that people are realizing now. Long-term results per case study on thisitifo.com. If you go look at that website, you're going to find a lot of this there. 4,000 genes begin to reset. That is a third of, they say we have about 12,000 genes in our body. Okay, so that's a third of the genes in our body actually get a reboot. Like you reboot your computer, when it's slow. So no wonder all of us are starting to walk a little faster, your brain becomes balanced. I mean, people with fear, anxiety, PTSD, those kind of things, their brain becomes balanced and they stop having anxiety. I know of people who've told me they've come off their antidepressants. They don't take them anymore. So, those are real, it's factual. Collagen increasing, heart reverses in age. And David says, he likes to talk about this as an age reversing product, not anti-aging, but age reversing.
It's a pretty bold statement, but he backs it up scientifically with all these different things. And we notice it, we feel it. You notice it. We see before and after pictures. We're going to share a few of those in a little bit. So how we wear this is very, very simple. We wear it 12 hours a day to elevate, activate, and regenerate. We normally recommend during the day because you want to get your best rejuvenation at night. So you remove 12 hours from your body, and so you can rest, repair, and rejuvenate. And it's pretty simple. The only other thing that we recommend is drinking lots of good water. So once again, we recommend mineral water. water, recommend spring water. We do recommend maybe Celtic salt. We got minerals that we can also recommend too that are fantastic, that are going to help you out, because your body, a lot of people today, a big challenge we have, especially here in the United States, is that people are drinking purified water.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It just strips out everything, including the minerals. And the food doesn't have the minerals, the water doesn't have minerals. So people are actually having challenges because they're not able to detox out the inflammation and all the different toxins. And so they're having challenges because of that, because minerals will help in that area. So these are little things that make a big difference, because you want to do that because your body starts detoxing right away once you start doing that. So the testimonies are super emotional. I just tell people, and really life changing. You watch videos of me actually getting emotional when I try to share some of these different things, because it is. Every day we're getting testimonials, every day from other people all over the world. And so it's pretty amazing the testimonies they have. So we're going to highlight a couple of these today, but right now, you look at people that are doctors. A lot of people say, are doctors utilizing this? Yes, thousands of doctors all over the world. Lily, so this is an example of just one here, actually in Tampa, Florida. We got a chance to meet Adam at an event that he was actually talking about this, because he heard about this helping out from a wound healing standpoint. And he basically said, well, he's a laser eyelid facial plastic surgeon. He said the normal healing time when he does the plastic surgery is normally 6 to 8 weeks. So a month and a half to 2 months. And so he said, well, I bet this will work a little bit better. So he started giving people basically the patch 30 days prior, and now the recovery time is 7 to 10 days. You can watch, you can find him on YouTube, and he talks about that. And so he was amazing. So he says, if you want to work with me, you must use this product. Another doctor we like to highlight is one that's actually on our website that talks a bit more about this. It's the 5th video down, and Dr. Leland Stillman, he's an expert in light therapy. He's got all these red light therapy badges. You might have heard of these different things. And he said, well, what's this little tiny patch going to do? And he kept on dismissing it. And finally, the person kept on persistently saying, check this out, check out the research, look at everything else. He goes, you know what? I bet it does work in cooperation with what he's already doing, because the red light therapy beds is high level intense red light therapy in, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, where this is 12 hours a day, low level stimulation. He started using it. You got to watch the video. He was like, whoa, this is actually helping. And so we're going to play a video in a minute just talking about, he goes, the results that he gets are blown away. He said, if you want to work with me, you must use these patches. So we got other people that have before and afters, all these different pictures that you might see. And we got thousands of these different pictures. We're just showing one here, day 1, day 42, basically a year later. If you don't notice the difference there, it's going to help with your eyesight. And now if you don't notice a difference now, it might really help with your eyesight, because if you notice the difference, I wish we would have done before and afters. I've been looking for pictures of before, basically close-ups of our face and what we look like now, the fine lines, wrinkles, everything else. It's amazing the difference, what happens when you increase collagen levels 200, 300, 400%, right? So other people with the wound healing, here's another person that basically fell through the rafters. Oh, I didn't transfer it. Anyway, so I gotta replace this. We just moved this all to the new slide deck. So once again, working the rafters, he fell through the ceiling, broke 6 ribs, punctured his lung, literally was in extreme head, I'll put it this way, he had extreme discomfort. And so he literally had all kinds of challenges. Well, within, he said, well, he's gonna be back to work within 6 weeks. Well, 3 weeks later, he was back to work. Look at the dates here, the 17th to the 30th. I mean, look at the difference in the dates here. This is not normal. I've shown this to doctors are like, that's not normal. Say, well, this is the normal when you use a product like this that basically helps you heal like you're 8 years old, right? And so we got other ones that talk about skin conditions. You think about all the different skin conditions that people have. I mean, it's pretty amazing the differences. My wife had horrible itchy and redness being from South Africa, coming to here to Florida. How many people know the water's different, the air's different, the food's different? So she had all kinds of allergies. Doesn't have issues anymore. Now I can hold her hands, which is kind of nice. So, and her skin is butter smooth, which is amazing by comparison. So we look at other things like vertigo, and again, we can mention all kinds of different ones. But before and after, this is something that normally is irreversible. We've had people try everything, and all of a sudden they start using this and start seeing a remarkable difference. And then again, here's one of our friends.
Yeah, a good friend of ours here in Florida. Before, we've known her for almost over 6 years now, and I knew that she had this condition with her hair. And it's an autoimmune, and her hair was just not growing. She was trying every type of potion, lotion, steroid injections in her head, and so on. Resorted to wearing wigs and hats, and in Florida heat that gets unbearable in the summer. And when we found out about this amazing technology, I looked at the website and I was like, I wonder if this will help my friend. And so I just shared the website with her and asked her to take a look for herself. And she said, you know what? I've given everything a try and nothing's working. I might as well try this. And you can see before and after of her hair, the back of her hair. Look at the growth. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And she's ditched the hats and the wigs now. In fact, they're on a Mediterranean cruise right now.
Absolutely, yeah, and just living the best life, which is amazing. And we've got other ones. Again, we can't make any promises, we can't make any medical claims, but this is an example of just someone who's a friend of a friend who had challenges, neurological type challenges. And so once again, here it talks about Parkinson's, and basically he could barely feed himself, barely walk. Literally did not want to live anymore. The projection was he was just going to get worse and worse and worse. Yeah. We got him the patches. 4 days later, his wife calls up our friends, screaming and crying, going, "Oh my gosh, what's in this thing? He's changing. He's able to feed himself. He's this." Well, we got a result actually several months ago that actually said that he's now water skiing. He couldn't ride a bike. He couldn't ride a motorcycle. He couldn't drive a car. Now he's back to doing all these things because of something that changed. I said because of Lifeway patches and the grace of God, we live daily in awe of miracles in our lives. It's pretty awesome. So again, we've got another one here. This last one I'll share is about talking about blood pressure. We talk about someone who tracked their husband's blood pressure every single day. You talk about high blood pressure, 226 over 108. Once again, within like 2 days, 170 over 85. Now again, I don't know.
That was a testimony that was shared with us just recently.
Yeah.
They just got started on the patches.
Yeah, and even greater things since then. I'm not going to go over the details, but hopefully we'll be able to get the highlight from them and all the different things, because there's a lot more things. We got a chance to talk with them more specifically about all the changes that they both experienced in a very short period of time. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a quick video that from actually, this is Danny McDaniel. Actually, he was interviewing 4 different doctors. This is from like an hour-long interview, but they took the last 4 minutes and just summarized what their best thoughts were with this and kind of explaining, why utilize this product. So here's basically just a quick 4-minute video.
Dr. Dodge, what about you? What makes this special?
I think really echoing that, this is the most powerful piece of medical technology I've come across in my practice, and that's over 20 years. So I think being able to reverse and see the testimonies of reversal of aging, reversal of disease that are otherwise untreatable, or that people and other doctors even give up on. This is new hope. It's new hope in the form of a patch that is so simple to offer if you're a healthcare professional, but you don't even have to be. A friend or a family member can begin to offer this to other friends, family members. So harnessing the power of the stem cells really in your pocket and transforming your life in such a simple but profound way.
It's great. Dr. Stillman?
The funny thing is, I think the most compelling thing that I get every day from this is just the testimonials. And like some of the other doctors have said, it's just such an incredible opportunity for people to be part of the healing process, and for the amount of effort that we've put in as doctors to be able to help people, for you to be able to walk around with this in the palm of your hand. It's just an incredible, incredible blessing for you all to be able to help people like this, because I can tell you, I know what it's like to get results like we see on the patch in my practice. Without the patch, it's a lot of work and effort, and it isn't just $100 a month. So when people pass this up, who I recommend it to, I just think they're totally nuts. They have no idea what they're missing. So enjoy it. Be glad that you got on board.
Very great. Dr. Fitch?
The best way I can say is that this is the most affordable, sexiest, easiest way to get into the stem cell world. So for as low as $99 a month, you turning your stem cells back on, carrying the sun around in your pocket to just wake your body up is just an amazing ability. Medicine will always be there to save the farm, to save the body from completely crashing, but that's not the state that most of us operate in. Most of us operate in a state of chronic inflammation day by day, and we need some kind of chronic ability to combat and buffer against that. And this is by far one of the easiest and most transparent ways to do it.
Thank you, Dr. Fitch. Dr. Joe? Last words.
I just think this is the most remarkable opportunity that's ever come along in my lifetime to this point, for your health, for your finances. If you choose to work it as a business. I got both my boys involved because they're just finishing up their college careers, and I told them this is better than a 401k or a Roth IRA. I've heard you say, Danny, it's like buying stock in Walmart in 1980. I think it's better than that. I think there's no comparison. And for those that are just willing to try it, they're not going to be disappointed, and they're going to quickly want to share it with others. So I share that piece with almost everyone that I introduced the patch to.
Fantastic. That's well said. Appreciate you, Dr. Joe.
So the best thing I got out of that was that that Dr. Fitch said, he goes, this is the sexiest way to get in the stem cell business. He called us sexy. So if you want to get your sexy back, this is a good way to do it. So it's pretty cool. So how do you get the information? You go to thisisitinfo.com. You go to the information there. Once again, I tell people, go to the top, look at testimonials, click on the studies, be able to scroll through, look at even the medical doctor section. It's got the patents, everything in there. It is absolutely brilliant. This was put together just for informational purposes, because people do all kinds of research and all kinds of stuff. And sometimes you get research from the wrong places, and so we want to put together the information so people can get the right information that's out there, which is fantastic. So we talk about the company.
Yeah, when we got started, we had no idea that this company LifeWave existed, and they're now a 21-year-old company open in over 75 plus countries around the world. At the time that the product was patented, the X39 was patented, the company was sitting at $20 million in revenue. And you can see here explosive growth. I mean, it's just like grown in leaps and bounds over the years, to the point that we closed at over 600 million US last year, 2024. Now, you don't see that type of growth in any company. I mean, the fact remains, and we're pushing for $1 billion this year. So that's an indication that people are sharing, they're experiencing, and they cannot stop sharing with their friends and family, because who would want to keep this a secret? If this is doing something absolutely amazing for you or for a friend that you know who's lost hope, which one of us would keep this a secret? I think we all, being social beings, love to share something good, And so LifeWave is now ranked number 1 in momentum per businessforhome.org. You can see the upward trend starting in 2019 all the way to 2024. So check it out. I mean, we're in momentum right now. And LifeWave, the system that we have, I mean, I'm just blown away, because no business actually works without a system. You have to have a system in place, and we have a system that is duplicatable. So we're actually duplicating our efforts. When we're showing this to people and they're saying, what I'm in, and I actually love the fact that I can go and share with my friends. Well, how do I do this? We have a system that works, similar to a franchise. But the thing here, it's not as expensive when you buy into a franchise. We know people who've owned a number of franchises, and they're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars just to own a franchise, just to open that door, and then to stay in business is a lot more, and then all the overheads and things like this. We can start this business with a credit card. It's so doable, and we'll show you what the cost of this is. Very, very low startup costs, and every one of us is building our own business. So we're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves, because we have a system already in place, and there's a support system where everybody gets the same training. We all learn together.
And 99% of stuff we do is on Zoom, but we got in-person trainings. You can see this picture. This is a real picture at one of our functions, again, showing some of the leaders on stage and the people in the audience learning from the top leaders at these conventions, which has been fantastic. So the biggest thing we want to transition into now is really talk a little bit more about from an opportunity standpoint, because this is an opportunity meeting. Hopefully the person that invited you said, hey, there's an opportunity to obviously generate income, but also a way to help other people. And this is something that we were looking for. So for us, the number one thing you look at here is you look at the family time. That is for us the number one thing. My wife being from South Africa, be able to go to South Africa maybe one time a year maybe was pretty difficult. I could only go one time a year because of the job that I had. But again, now we were able to do more, because for me, the number one word on here that's not on here is independence. I wanted to be financially independent. I didn't want to be dependent on a job. There's a lot of challenges going on with companies now. We're hearing more and more people getting laid off, furloughed, whatever you want to call it, all kinds of different things that are going on. What if you had your own business that, once again, wasn't based upon the economy, wasn't based upon stuff that was going on, it was based upon demand for a product that people are looking for around the world. So the thing that other people think about is security, once again, travel, better health, less debt, the idea, how about zero debt? How about being totally debt free? Imagine if you double, triple, quadrupled your income, how your life would change. Because that's what we want to help you do. We've done it. Now we're helping other people do the same thing. And we're following the leadership of the top team in the entire world. The This Is It team with Steve and Gina Merritt. And that's one thing that we love, about this. So the thing that I want to talk about is I can talk about a couple different ways you make money. There's really 9 ways that we make money from this now. And we're just going to highlight a couple of them. But the very first thing we talk about is what's called a binary. And a binary is basically a compensation plan from a network like this that you basically are building what they call a right team and a left team. So now what happens is you now can make up to $25,000 a week just from this one way. Now, it takes time just like anything else, but what happens is you get started and you start with it. Maybe you got a best friend says, I want to help them get started. You start with help a cousin get started. Then within that same week, you might help, another best friend and another good friend and help another family member, right? And this, by basically doing this becomes a building block to actually build the business. And I'm going to explain a little bit more. So again, it's just starting the left and right, just with friends and acquaintances, people you know. And we have people that we've completely didn't even know. We bumped into them and they were looking for a solution, right? And it's pretty amazing. So how we get started, the very first part of upfront payouts that we earn is literally the first goal is become what they call one-star manager. Like I said, putting in your best friend and putting in your cousin, right? As an example, because they're looking for opportunities or they're looking for solutions for them and their family that can help them with some of the challenges they're going on. And this unlocks the bonus. We can make up to $25 a week for 9 weeks. Now what happens is within that same week, the very first week we help people get started, we help them do this. And then by the end of that week, we help them basically put another one right, another one left. So we call it, out of the gate in 48, which is 48 hours, and left and right by Monday night. So a week from today, our goal is to help you be able to develop this. And now you're making a minimum of $50 a week for that. You're going to earn upfront bonuses on all these different people too. So it gets pretty significant on there. And I saw that, I said, for the new person getting started, I'm like, this is absolutely brilliant. And so this is kind of what we did. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. My wife was the one that got very excited about this mentorship matching
Yeah, I
bonus.
was really excited about the mentorship matching bonus. And why? Because it's unlimited income earning potential. It pays up to $20,000 per person on every level per week. And you can earn potentially up to 6 generations. What is a generation? Well, if we choose to get started, and then we actually shared with Brendan, he would be first generation. Brendan shares with Johan, that's second generation. So it's up to 6 generations. And you can also see that as you go up the ranks, you're getting paid more generations. Why? Because it's a mentor matching bonus. They're recognizing the fact that you're working down with the people and you're helping them to start generating. And so they're going to reward you for that. Okay. $20,000 per person per week.
Yeah.
So if we have 100 people on our first generation level and we're getting paid, we can max out 100 people at 20,000 on our first generation.
Yep.
That's why it is unlimited. And we've never seen anything like this.
No.
Never.
And the income potential is massive. I mean, think about that. From figure out 52 weeks, 20,000 a week, you can understand the numbers here. But again, even helping somebody make some money, you're getting a $500 bonus or $1,000 bonus per week, $2,000 bonus. You pick the number, whatever it is. And it's a stair step as you basically rank up to these different levels here, you actually start hitting different bonuses, which is fantastic. So we're not going to highlight all this. There's videos that explain all these different details, but we just want to make sure you understand. I'm always looking at it from a standpoint. Let's say you're in South Africa, and I use the example of rand. So if we can help you make an extra 20,000 rand per month, would that be helpful to you and your family right now? That's about $1,000, a month. If we can help you make an extra 20,000 rand a week, would that be helpful? That's about $1,000 a week. For a lot of people, are going, really? Is that possible? Yeah, we've helped a lot of people do that. So again, the same thing in Europe, same thing all over the world. We got people we got business now in 41 countries around the world. So we talk to people about that. Getting paid in US dollars is pretty strong. People love that idea of getting paid in dollars. Then it converts into their own currency. So it's huge. So again, hopefully you get a little bit of an idea of what happens. It's helping other people physically, mentally, psychologically, and also financially with a product like this, was just huge. So there's a couple less things we'll kind of wrap up with, but the biggest part that you understand is that from a conventional business standpoint, I've worked with businesses as a business consultant for 30 years, helping companies, everything very small company to very large companies, and I understand the high startup costs. I've seen a lot of companies fail, even though we did marketing and helped them do different stuff. It takes a lot of work. Most companies have a system. It takes them at least 5 years to develop a system. The high risks, lots of stress. Oh my goodness, if you own a business, you know what we're talking about. Long hours, trial and error is exactly what it is. A learning curve that basically is very difficult. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. A learning curve that, again, is not easy. Like I said, minimum 5 years to develop a system and limited earning potential. That really is true. I had a lot of business owners, they couldn't expand because as they try to expand, now they got to hire more employees, more taxes, more insurance, more all this kind of stuff they had to do, more vehicles, whatever they had to do. In this business, start on a credit card. I tell people, once again, it was the smallest investment we've ever made in our entire life, right? With no risk. Stress-free. So once again, you can build it the way you want to do it. You can do it part-time. As you have a treatment division, you can develop this part-time on the side. You make your own schedule, which is great. A proven system. It's proven. We got the #1 fastest growing team and the fastest growing company. And the mentorship is unbelievable. It's phenomenal. Something that you've been praying for. Trust me, we're praying for the right kind of mentors. And guess what? We have those now. Unlimited earnings potential. You pick the number. You figure out what you want to do. Once again, I tell people, think big. Just think about, imagine just doubling your income. What would happen if you doubled your income? How things would change. But the same thing with this, we can't guarantee any income. That's based upon yourself. It's based upon your own effort. The one thing we know is we're ambitious, and we're going to say, you know what, we're going to help as many people as possible.
Well, we also care a lot,
Yes.
so we're not going to keep it to ourselves. We want to help a lot of people.
Thus the reason the person recommended coming to the meeting we have today, because they care about you. They want to partner with you. They want to work with you to help develop a business. So how we get started, very, very simple. We have an application, an order form. And so we tell people, again, is that we have, we tell you you can pay retail on here. You can pay retail at $150 a sleeve, which is still a bargain compared to, I was spending $400, $500, sometimes $600 a month. This for me was, I get a discount. We bought the premium pack, which is the most popular one. It was $1,750, and we get 20 sleeves. Yeah. Now, it's not because we want to go out there and sell the product and everything else. We were taught, they said, what you want to do is actually be able to get the product yourself. And then when someone wants to register, you lend them a sleeve until their product comes in 4 or 5, 6 days later. Some countries take a little longer, some it's quicker, right? I was kind of jealous because South Africa sometimes you get in 2 days, so really quick. But you basically we lend them a sleeve when they get registered, and then when their product comes in, they just give us one back, a new one back. We give them a new one, they give us a new one back. Could we call it place and replace? So we made this money back in 2.5 weeks. Because when you register other people, we actually make money by registering people, and we made that money back. Our first month, we made almost $3,000. Now we can't guarantee that for anybody here, but we can guarantee you that if you follow the system and you follow the recommendations, you will have success if you're willing to be mentored and actually learn how to do some things. So for other people on the Advanced Plus, they say, I can't do this, then I'd recommend the Advanced Plus or the Advanced. I mean, this is the one I'd definitely recommend if you can't do this one here, because now you get 11 sleeves, and now you get product for you, your spouse, and extra ones that you can lend to people and get it back. I've had people, can I buy this from you? Absolutely. In fact, what you're going to do is we're going to place an order. I'll lend you one of mine. When yours comes in, you'll give me one back, right? And so that's why we do that. And then the Advanced, and really the core is for people who just say, well, they want to try the product. And again, I don't even recommend that. I recommend at least the Advanced pack when someone wants to try the product, because that's all this. And then we get people set up on auto ship. The reason we love the premium too is that the monthly subscription is set up specifically. You don't have to buy anything for 90 days. So today is November now. So if you say, I want to get started today, and you get started in the premium pack, you basically are covered for November, December, and January. You don't have to buy anything until February. And you're basically consistently can make as much money as you want from the business by just helping other people. It's pretty simple on that.
And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee on every package. So no risk.
There's no risk. No risk. So I tell people, try the product. The more you use it, the more you go, oh my goodness. Now you got to give it some time. We do know that, once again, that historically for every decade you're alive, you should be using at least one sleeve. That's the rule of thumb for anything like this. So when you talk about light therapy, everything else, you got to give it time. Now for me, it was 3 days. My wife was a couple weeks. Some people take months. Everybody's different. But if I'm 55, I should be using using this for 5 to 6 months. I've been using it for 3 years. I'm never stopping this, because it's like, imagine going down a down escalator, right? And you're getting older and older and older and older and older, right? And you're getting weaker and weaker, and whatever you want to call it, all these kind of challenges. Imagine the escalator stopping, and now it's reversing, and you're getting better and better and better, gooder and gooder and gooder. That's not the right terms. Anyway, but you're getting better. So what are you going to do? What are you going to get off it? Okay, well, you're going back down again, right? That's like for anything, exercise, diet, whatever you do, it's the same thing with this. That's why I recommend utilizing the product. It's the least expensive product we've ever used and the most beneficial. It's literally the greatest medical technology breakthrough of our lifetime. It's absolutely fantastic. So Whoops.
And it's a business with the lowest overhead
Yeah.
I've ever come across in my life.
Yeah, so our monthly expense, to give you an idea, after we bought the biggest pack, our monthly expense 3 months later was I get a sleeve, my wife gets a sleeve, $200 a month.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, talk to any traditional business owner, ask them how much are they spending more than $200 a month on expenses. They'd be like, well, are you joking? I mean, probably 20,000 a month, right? I mean, it's crazy all the things are out there. So, talk about this.
So the way, we talk about, being in business for yourself. What do most people do? They get someone to create a website for them, right? A lot of hundreds of thousands of dollars, And here we get given the websites. So we have the tools. They give it to us. This is at info.com. Greg already explained it. It's where you can go and see everything about the product and so on, the clinical trials, the testimonies. No one purchases off that site. But this is a team site. This is like your textbook. How do you do this business? How do you get started? How do you onboard? How do you get to the next rank? How does this compensation plan? So there's like mini tutorials that you can actually go watch in your spare, you have your time, and maybe instead of watching your favorite sitcom, you can go and look at your, this is a team website and navigate there and learn everything that you need to know about this business. Because, when I went to law school, I had to open a ton of textbooks. I had to go to a ton of lectures, and here they've given, and I had to buy those things. I had to pay for all of that. Here they gave us the websites. I mean, how, and everybody that utilizes these tools and follows the system for success is winning. So, don't count yourself out. You too can win.
Yeah, I mean, the annual fees of being an attorney and all the continuing education, all that kind of stuff.
Continued
All this other
education.
things,
I mean, I still get notifications. There's continued education in every field every single week for this, and it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and so these are all things you take a look at. So really, now's the time to make your move. And this is really, if you're serious about your dreams, there's really hope for your future. We tell people we're hope dealers, not dope dealers. So we'd recommend get started today. There's no risk. Start utilizing it. And as you start utilizing it, we work with you. That's the best part about this whole team. The people that are on this meeting, they're working with us, and we're working with Steve and Gina, and working with the other teams that we're partnered with. And this is a team is an uncommon mentorship team. So if you like the idea of mentorship and learning and then mentoring and helping others, you're at the right place. So the part that we always share with people, again, is you want to get back together with the person who shared this with you, say, how do I get started? And they're going to make a recommendation, whatever's the best thing for you. I recommend starting on the premium pack because that's what we did. There's no risk. Try it out, sample with people, have people understand it, and we'll share those with others. We do 3-way calls, we do videos. We have this meeting every Monday. We just changed the time because of the time change. It's going to be 12 o'clock on Monday. Tonight, we have 2 meetings at 8 o'clock in the United States and at 10 o'clock in the United States, where we're actually going to be, Men and I have been asked to do the presentation for the whole This Is It team, the whole global team. So we're doing that meeting tonight at 8 o'clock and again at 10 o'clock. But the one thing that we always want to make sure people know too is that there's training. So there's even a training after this that starts in basically at 17 minutes. That if the person says, hey, you're a brand partner, you want to get on, you can do that and basically get registered and join our training that we do. We make that available to people because we want to make sure that everybody understands what we're doing. And there's so many amazing things going on right now. Incentive trips, free trips.
Lots of exciting things to share on training. And if you have not received the link and you want to get on the training, please shoot me a message or shoot the person that invited you a message, and let them know that you'd like to participate in the training. So we start in the next 15 minutes.
Yep. So otherwise, besides it, the one thing that we know is there's a lot of uncertainties in life today. There's a lot of things going on. We don't put on the news, but if we put on the news for 5 minutes, we know there's a lot of stuff going on today. But the one thing we know for certain is this is it. So God bless you guys. Have an amazing day. Get back together with us. We'd love to share this more information, and we look forward to talking with you soon.